democracy high school hallways, overworked parents nowhere in sight. Touchdown cheers and turnover groans drown lonesome lives for a moment. Forgetfulness is fueled by beer. You're someone here, a hometown living room hero. They'd never have won without you, calling every penalty before the flag, missing no hole in the line, shouting for that dumb shit running back to get his head out of his ass and back in the game, for Christ's sake. Football Sunday is holier than 100 church services, worshippers watching TV with no time delay, shouting prayers and curses in unison nationwide, gives them something to talk about wearing their team-colored Disney swoosh tie. Winning is a lie, a misrepresentation. What's lost is the sum of the equation. Let's do another cheer. Voices, minds together. Don't think about why or whether. Sing with me. Go, fight, win! Go, fight, win! Go, fight, win! Go, fight, win! Crosstown rivalry never ends. High school players, families, and friends all show up for Friday's game. Community pride, school name on the line, dependent on our team, crushing the other guys. Take no prisoners, leave none alive, the coach coaxes as he pats armor-clad behinds onto the field for battle. Peach fuzz hidden under chin-strapped helmets that turn heads into spears that ruin ribs, break backs. A few young bodies is a small price to pay for victory, a display of physical and moral right. Who cares how well they played or how nice? What's won is mine, my right, at any price. Communities mourn senior year when pig-skinned superstars leave the nest for post-pubescent trials of right. They needn't fear. There are plenty of oil-filled end zones left. Constant TV and internet coverage of the fight. We stand united by the closest thing to democracy we know. We're all watching the same show, buying the same bumper stickers and flags to pledge our allegiance, support our troops who will never witness our display. Cheerleader chintz is cheap consolation for what we sell. Our children into hell with no touchdowns or out of bounds, just bombs and more bombs from both sides. No chance for a turnover. No real hope in sight, more wounded than team pride. American dominocracy wins again. So many lives and tax dollars spent while we cheer on the sidelines. Go, fight, win! Go, fight, win! Go, fight, win. I'm Jon Labrousse. You know me from school. I'm a middle school teacher here in town. Poor children. This isn't better, is it?
Well, not when it's not on, no.
It's off right there. Is it off?
Try it.
Let's see if I can. Does that even work?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Does that work better?
Yeah.
Maybe? Sorta? Okay, let's try this. I'll do a double dose here thing. Okay, this is called hunger. Here comes a storm. It starts with a rumble that you mistake for thunder. This dark and elemental shakes the wall hunger. Fed up with Pop-Tarts and peanut butter, you pull on your shoes and coat, head to the market, empty hands and polyester pockets. Wander fluorescent aisles of tin cans, plastic plunder, time's waste is non-recyclable. Where the hell does it go, you wonder? In frozen food, you catch your reflection superimposed over boxes of mass production. Realize your hunger is something hot, something hunted. You run home and read Hemingway to muster courage for the hunt. You've never done this. You own no rifle. Your knife is blunt. Sharpened mop handle and flashlight in hand, you head south in sneakers, seeking the source of your hunger, your humanity worn thin. You inch into the patch of woods skirting prefab efficiency homes, hoping to stir up a squirrel or smallish deer. Nothing ferocious. Just outside of streetlights, this is the closest you've ever been to wild. Brush scuffle blends with thunder and you panic. Drop your spear and flashlight, dash forward. The storm meets you in a clearing where the downpour mixes here with now, and you give up hunting as hopeless. Stripped to your skin and rain dance splatter. Lightning scatters the dark and you feel electric. It's in that first flash you see her. Full-figured spinning thunder in the same mud as you. Stitchless, hungry too. You match her unabashed laughter with tango and slap flesh into a rain-drenched, mud-happy frolic, a consummation of all that matters. until, mutually seated in a muddy pile of finally human, she finds her mobile phone and makes a call. Turns out you're not that far from civilization after all. And when the pizza boy pulls up all red, white, and blue, Flash asks, eyes averted, who ordered the large pepperoni? She has the cash ready. You tip. Hot pizza wasn't what you thought you were after, but the two of you squat naked in the rain, growling, clawing at your kill until you both devoured your fill. It's in her wild eyes you realize that it wasn't the kill that drew you into the hunt, but the risk of finding something primitive, and you did yourself finally alive. Alright, so this one, there's some things, you know, being a poet, we're used to, you know, being cool with ourselves and spend a lot of time talking to ourselves. There are just some things that are hard to say. And so, you know, my therapist thought this would really help me. Thanks, man. So, this is called Talk to the Puppet. He's the puppet. I'm a shell of a hell of a sock puppet fella, left empty by you, bitch, a sock Cinderella. You threw me in the wash and left me on the line, see? Battered and bleached every trace of you from me. I feel so used out here dangling in the rain. I'm talking about life, I'm talking about pain, about I can't stand the heat. You threw me in the dryer, stuck on your feet even upstairs, I get no higher. I'm twisted and worn thin, wrung out and pulled loose, a nappy version of me you can see through. Tied in tight knots, angry dog pulled and fetched, every thread of me sweat stained and stretched. Here I hang in the rain, here I hang in the rain, it's not my thing, I'm just a nappy sock puppet hanging in the rain. But I've got news for you, to damp your prance around, in your open-toe free heels, I'll bring you down, all barefoot and brown skin with springy step. Go on and dance, bitch, you ain't seen nothing yet. I'm a sock puppet with button eyes and nose. I need you like I need ratty holes for toes. Me and my posse, we're getting organized. I'm not the only footwear that despises you. We'll haunt your every step. We'll do it undetected. We'll lay some hurt on your corns when you least expect it. We'll stand up blood blister ickier than fungus. We'll get what you earn, bitch. Vindicta humongous. Here I hang in the rain. Here I hang in the rain. It's not my thing. I'm just a vengeful sock puppet hanging in the rain. Okay, I'll do one more. Now for something completely different. Shut up, Corey. That's why you don't bring friends to a show. Alright, this is called Write the Stars. I wrote this for my wife and daughter, actually. It's no accident we peer into bigger the better black boxes filled with colorful pixels of light and call the movie Stars, TV Stars. Since before there was time, there were stars, and they told our stories. Night would fall and we'd gather around the small fire that was our primeval living room. And the sky was the biggest TV humans will ever see. Natural 4D, space and time stretching out to infinity. And huddled close together, we charted our heroes' stories in the constellations for future generations to point to, like channels in the sky to remember. The stars told farmers when to plant and harvest. They told stories of hardship and struggle, of triumph and salvation. The information cataloged in the stars plotted a map in our collective consciousness that helped us navigate centuries of darkness and uncertainty. Unlike television, whose shows only run a couple of seasons before they fall into obscurity, the myths of our ancestors are still written in the very same stars we see in the sky today. Our heroes were bold and brave, and our women. Let's cut to the chase. Our women were raped. They were taken, beaten. They were sacrificed in almost every constellation story. Stories still written in our stars like permission. When my daughter was in 2nd grade, we stayed up late on a school night to watch the total lunar eclipse together in the backyard. When the moon was mostly blocked by the Earth's shadow, she asked me, "Why don't you have a real job, like the other dads?" It took 8 years for that question to rise, and I remember looking up at the way the Earth had stepped in front of the moon, obscuring her completely. Bright full moon commanding attention, and everyone's watching but only waiting for the Earth to make an appearance. And when the Earth's bit is finished, everyone goes back inside to sleep, leaving the moon up there all alone, diminished. It's the eclipse they came out to see, the hero show. Something clicked. I picked out the stars and named my first constellation that night, Tasha, after my partner. Mother, lover, justice, warrior, and sketched for my daughter the story we're still living. It's a story about the moon, how our mom is it, and I am too, depending on your perspective. And sometimes eclipses happen, and you should say sorry when they do. It's a story about the sun, our children, who we too revolve around, each of us, sometimes Earth, sometimes moon, move, and interdependent, full of light and shadow, but whole and flawed. These are the kinds of stories we need, where the hero's traits are blurred across gender, the way the Milky Way looks like a wash of light sometimes, making it impossible to pinpoint individual stars. I named the constellation to remind me what heroism is. It's her, and it's me, and sometimes it's both of us at once, and the only beast that needs to be defeated is our egos. After the eclipse, I pointed out Tasha's stars to my daughter so she could find her when she needs her. And that patch of stars over there, I told her, that's you. And I sketched a map of both of them inside the front cover of her journal. That's the constellation where you're writing your stories, I told her. We need new heroes, like you. And we snuggled under the blanket to watch the full moon's slow procession across the sky until it slipped behind the trees before we went inside to sleep.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What can I say? Jon Labrousse. Okay, we have another awesome poet for you coming up right now. Please welcome Izzy Whetstine.
Well, can you hear me now? Do I sound like I've had too many cheap cigars? That's the effect we're after. All right, now, I don't write good poetry, so I read good poetry. And this piece is written by a fellow named Randy Crowell. It's called The Obscenity Prayer. Possibly you already have it memorized. Give to me my time and money. Give to me my milk and honey. Give to me my self-respect. Golden chains around my neck. Give to me my supermodel. Corporate jet and champagne bottle. Get me out there on the town so I can spread my wealth around. I can learn to love the life I lead. Don't take away the things I need. I feel rosy in the pink. Just don't make me stop and think. All those dark thoughts in my head seem better left unsaid. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give to me my latest passion. Make my lover burn with passion. Give to me my charm and wit. Keep my body young and fit. Give to me my haute couture. Give the world a cancer cure. serve my breakfast al fresco and let the wine and liquor flow. I can search for truth some other time. Right now, I just want what's mine. Let the gangsters rule the street while teachers try to make things meet. I despise all bleeding hearts. I don't patronize the arts. Give it to me! Give it to me! Right now! Give to me my Aspen winter. Sorry about that World Trade Center. I can't help the ones in need. I got my own damn mouth to feed. Give to me the Playboy Channel. Killer weed, sheets of flannel. Lay me down upon my bed with pleasant dreams to fill my head. Just look at what this world is coming to. And there ain't one damn thing I can do. I don't have a leg to stand on. I don't have a neck to land on. I don't have that base of power. I don't have that extra hour. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Right now. Give to me my tax cut outsource. Build me my own private golf course. The Dixie chicks can kiss my ass, but I still need that backstage pass. Give to me my NASDAQ numbers, Intel shares, and E-Trade blunders. Soldiers to defend my freedom. A script for value if I need them. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Right now. I ain't done with you yet. Is my time up? I got one more. One more from heart. Called Clothes Make the Man. Written by a fellow named Jack Conway. Clothes make the man, Jack. And that's a fact. They got coats for folks that's got it made. They got maids, too. They got hats for cats like us, Jack. Shoes. Dude just in the mood to be cool. Yeah. They got clothes made in Milan, Japan, Iran. Even got designer sheets for the Klan. You got that, man? Yeah. We got the rags for hags that watches soap operas all the time. Even got pants that dance all by themselves, Jack. In case you got no rhythm. Yes, sir. We got it all. We from presidents to malcontents. Hip, slick, double knits. Yeah. Clothes make the man, Jack. We got them avant-garde leotards. We got risque sachet. We got debonair underwear. We got high heels for Lucille and obscene jeans for Geraldine. You know the kind I mean, Jack. The ones she likes to wear. Yeah. Clothes make the man, Jack. That's a fact. Get that in your head. Ain't no cop a cop. No none a none. No priest a priest or bum a bum without their threads. Yeah. Clothes make the man, Jack. Till you're dead. And then, of course, you're all just naked again. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it again for Izzy, Whetstine. Thank you so much, Izzy. All right, so I've got my family visiting here now, my beautiful wife and cousins, so I'm going to do a couple for you. The first one I'm going to do is, I'm going to make it a little more serious now, and Andrew's going to back me up on drums with a political poem. All right, this is something with a little bit of a 60s bent, okay? I fight for what is not left. I fight for what went long ago. The smiling faces, flowers, long hair, and bell bottoms of you. a faded view, left forgotten in the memories of new wars, new scores, new reasons to be afraid. By the many, the masses, no longer aware how it could have been had we just not given in to the many-numbered royalties, the commercialism cash cow, the callous concern of corporate bottom lining, until we're all scared for our jobs, no longer able to see the possibility that was at our fingertips. If only we could have held on a little longer, persevered a little stronger, not been in such a drug-induced haze. Oh, the ways of the world, the wonder now gone, replaced by hunger. The mad plans of melancholy, mentioned in passing. The last seen signals of the 60s. Do you remember when peace, love, and brotherhood were the current topics of discourse? Do you remember when government regulation was strong enough that air pollution standards created cleaner air, and the big banks in Wall Street operated with public scrutiny? Do you remember when aerosol cans started disappearing from store shelves, replaced by pump sprays? Do you remember why? Do you remember truth in advertising? Do you remember the fairness doctrine, when opposing political views had equal airtime by law? Do you remember when telephone companies, public utilities, television, media, airlines, health insurance, and banks were not mega monopoly corporations, when monopolies were broken up by our government? Do you remember when the Supreme Court was fair and balanced, and politicians of opposing parties actually worked together? Do you remember when big money didn't buy up all of government? Do you remember when public education was important, reliable, affordable, and funded? Do you remember when teachers, firemen, and police officers were important jobs, with public support for fair wages and benefits? Do you remember when the average American family could afford a house, a car, and a college education for their children? Do you remember make love, not war? The 1960s was a paradigm shift, at least a brief moment of truth, a glimpse of the golden age, the future that could be if peace, love, and brotherhood really reigned in the world. In the 60s, we saw that the evolution of the human spirit was possible. We saw that living in harmony with our fellow man and Mother Nature was doable. But when you look around now, it appears like we have forgotten all of that. I fight for what is not left. I fight for what went long ago. The smiling faces, flowers, long hair, and bell-bottoms of you. Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Okay, by popular request of my young poet friends, I'm going to do my epic science fiction poem. No drums. I got to set up the music for this, so it'll take me 1 second. This is called The Blaster. You bathe in the depths of the sea as the blaster plays his reverie. deeper and deeper you go, to escape the sound of a drowning planet. Forever holding your breath, great upheaval seems so near. Are you a dreamer? Is this your own world? You can't even remember how you got here, but the changes you are experiencing seem so real. The coolness of the water, the shortness of your breath, the tears you've cried forevermore in this never-ending death. Has the bringer of false promises finally stumbled? How many ideas with strong foundations have crumbled? But no outward appearances seem familiar here, except for the sound of the blaster. Does you remember where it's taken him? The music that is his master. And the blaster plays disaster music. Life after the Holocaust. The blaster plays disaster music. Life after time stood still. Sinking deeper, you try to hold fast to the truth. You think about what you would say if you could speak to this world. Are you open to the unfamiliar? Don't you know that everything changes? The only thing that remains unchanged is God. Myriad opportunities called you, but the goal was beyond your grasp. For you have forgotten how to learn. And now the price of wisdom is death and resurrection. Is this a dirty trick someone has played on you? Maybe you're lost in virtual reality, but it seems so true. And on a clear day, you can see forever. Whose life is this anyway? You approach a house to get a better view. And you see candelabras like diamonds shimmering through the windows. Coals, the color of Mars, glow in the fireplace. Stairways to forever reveal multi-layered cubicles. And the ceiling disappears into the stars. But then the blaster plays disaster music. Life after apocalypse. Introspective guitar riffs. Sparks thrown in the air. The blaster plays disaster music. Life after apocalypse. Introspective guitar riffs. Travel on and on. The cold wind blows, takes you where it will, turns you like a windmill. But only your word travels really break away from gravity. Can't live in this cubicle no more. The earth is my home. Got to stomp on the terra. Gotta roam. But you can use me to spread some energy. Am I the blaster? The blaster plays disaster music. Life after apocalypse. Introspective guitar riffs. Sparks thrown in the air. The blaster plays disaster music. Life after apocalypse. Introspective guitar riffs. Travel on and on. And on and on and on. And on and on. And on and on. Thank you. The blaster. All right, it looks like we still have a couple minutes here. The band hasn't set up yet, so I'm going to have one of our young poets come up and read. I think Andrew's up first. What do you think? You got something? Well, let's see how much time we got.
Yeah.
5 minutes. 6 minutes. Who's got something?
I have also been
Yeah? All right. Please welcome Andrew.
You just welcome me while I look for my phone, you know. Alright, so this ties into a poem that's going to be read later as part of a set. And I haven't actually, looked at this poem since the last time I read it, but it's going to be fucking awesome. Alright, it's called God's Ode to Boredom. It must be really boring just being God. Knowing all there is to know, seeing all there is to see, all at once being all there is to be. Bored in her own self-sufficiency, so that explains pretty much everything that occurs. So a certain kind of boredom is necessary to remember who we are and what this is. It is all made up. It all came out of nothing, and we are nature eating itself up. Trees replanting themselves and pigs cooking themselves. We are weather patterns of physics, tornadoes blowing and combining through the landscapes of each other's lives. We are the hurricane and the lives destroyed. Units of perception with all of this pivoting on the axis of our filtered awareness. Relative to us, the world is standing still in our honor, and the sun rises and bows in worship of our wakefulness. The stars shine down on us, and we are standing here on a floating rock, covered in water, air, and vegetation, where my down is China's up. But the truth is, we're floating, and directionality does not exist, but relative to points which relative to the infinite abyss are aimless on this canvas. As long as we are entertained by this, we are only seeing with two eyes, and the mind's third eye remains closed. There is nothing new, and there are no original thoughts. I've been saying what's been said for thousands of years, and that's it. That's all that ever comes out of anyone's mouth. is syllables, styled differently, fit within ready-made frames, a set of potential thoughts that can be had by combining certain words together or not combining other words together. We are operating within the archetypes we have set up for ourselves and a host of possibilities to keep us entertained as long as possible. Boredom is a proper response to performance. Laughter to calamity, virtue and vanity in the presence of God and profanity. This is nothing but a collaborative production made by atoms and bacteria and cells and animals, and us animals are encountering of a collective existence, a feeling of millennia of masterpieces leading up to this feeling of boredom. And maybe it's because I'm writing this to tune out a church sermon, but I'm bored as fucking hell, and I want to take this moment to affirm a few metaphysical truths. There is no loss in the universe, only change, and change is relative to the specificity of our finitude, because on the space-time continuum, each disparate happening is always there. Therefore, there is no loss, only change, and even change is relative to us. Therefore, death does not exist. It never happens. No one ever dies. Our sense of ourselves and our awareness is a crest on a wave, in a tsunami, rushing from a deep ocean. We are living in anxiety that we have a self that will die, but any self that could be rid of via elimination of preferences, details, hobbies, thoughts, behaviors, past, present, hopes, was never a real self anyways. So there is no death. Only waves crashing and receding and crashing again, like reincarnations and mathematical patterns of fractal-esque interconnectivity, meeting the same God, veiled in different masks, until we get bored enough of the masks we wonder to ask what's behind the mask. Are you bored of this poem yet? You should be. It's just another mask. And I'm only stating what you already know and have had a sixth sense of all this time. And if you disbelieve this, you only deny what you are, but God, diluting your very essence over time with pretentious limits on yourself, diluting yourself enough to escape the dull humdrum la-di-da existence of this collaborative makeup session. Every action arises out of some kind of boredom and dissatisfaction. The premise for every doing being the believing that accomplishing something is accomplishing something other than diverting our attention from the game we've been playing with ourselves. In order to reach enlightenment, we must first become bored, and doing shit to not be bored runs counter to realizing what we ought to realize. We should become bored with fun, bored with love, bored with suffering and pain, bored with writing and hearing and reading and doing, and even bored with being bored, and persist through each experience to the boredom after the fall. And from that pure place of creation, make something for yourself if you wish, even if it won't be new. You must go to that place and come back with phantoms conjured up ex nihilo to represent your soul, made of debris blowing in the wind, the form of which you'll fuck up by attempting to clasp any creative moment in your hands. And that is us, ghosts, stranded, living our lives, grabbing at things and finding our hands empty. If we're bored enough, we can even pass our appendages right through ourselves. And there is no resolution to this tension, but what you choose. The choice is the primal creative act. Our divine sparks are drawn to like magnets, because God is the ocean, and God is the white foam crest. God is the clothes, and God is the flesh undressed. And God got bored, so God dreamt up this, and we are God's dreaming up reasons to live. We never do anything but what we want, and whether we admit it or not, we have no other reason to give. Thank you.
That was Andrew. So let's see. The band still hasn't started. Somebody could do a quick one, either Candace or Austin. You have anything ready? Candace, you're up. Come on. Please welcome Candace.
I actually, for this event, didn't prep a lot of work so I could practice my improv skills. It's not going well.
It is. That's going great.
Okay, so here we go. Christopher Robin waits nervously at the edge of his bed, staring at his backpack nervously. Why is he nervous? I think all adults know at this point why. Christopher Robin has just reached 16, and instead of the 100-acre wood at the back of his mind, he thinks of Susie from math class. 2 pigtails still done by her mom at the age of 16, he finds it cute. And he wants to talk to her more than he wants to Pooh or Piglet or Donkey. Eeyore, nobody remembers the name. So as he's staring at his pack, he thinks of everything that he won't get to say to the rest of his friends. He won't get to tell Eeyore to cheer up anymore. Pooh can no longer think. And Rabbit will no longer have someone to complain to when Tigger comes by his house. He packs carrots, he packs spells, pot of honey, and he just sits and he waits for the sun to come up for his last voyage. He tells his parents he's running to the nearest Quickie Mart for some snacks and that he'll be right back. Because he cannot tell them that this is a goodbye trip. A trip where he'll be losing the last bits of his childhood. Because parents don't want to hear that. So he grabs his bag, he walks out the front door, taking one final glance at his house because the next time he comes home, he won't be leaving again anytime soon. That's all I can come up with right now.
Thank you so much, Candace. Boy, the band still hasn't started. What do you think, guys? Anybody want to read something short? Austin, you got anything? Something from memory? No? John? You got something? Anything?
No, they're gonna start in a second, I think.
Yeah? They look close, but I don't hear anything going on. Well, look, anyway, thank you for being here for our poetry set. And we'll be here again after this next band is done. We'll do another one. So, thanks for listening.
Some like that. Thanks. Thanks. You guys know. All right. My wife's in a business.
always do.